again.
It's a bit less scary this time.
No,
No?
actually, no, it's not. It's more people.
No, it's all good. So Tomeca has been kind enough to agree to come up and share a little bit about her story of faith and her walk with the Lord. So we're going to just get started. You were born and raised in Jamaica
Yes.
in a church-growing environment.
Yes.
Please, could you give us a bit of an overview? What was that like?
So, growing up, Jamaica is quite Christian. Lots of churches. So, grandmother was a Christian. So all the kids had to go to school, church, and it's the same principle that were applied to the grandkids. As soon as you're old enough, you have to go to church. But the funny thing is, when you get to a certain age, the adults stop going, but the kids have to go because you have to sort of do that journey. And so on a Sunday morning, I'd get dressed up and be sent off. And I wasn't
And your
happy.
mum wouldn't go with you?
My mom, no, nobody else would go. It was just me.
you.
Yeah, dropped off, or just when I could make my way, go to church. You have to. It was, mandatory, really. And so I would go, because you have to, do as you're told. And I'd go sit in the back, and as soon as it ended, I'd leave. So I didn't really engage. I didn't do anything extra. I just did what I was told, which is, you need to go to church. I've gone to church. I've done that. I'm free for the rest of the Sunday. So that was that.
Yeah, well, that was a good way to get started. What was your impression? What was the teaching like? What was your impression of God like from your time at church during your childhood?
So during childhood and going to church like that, I really didn't engage. And when I say Jamaica is a religious place, within school, so from basic school level to up to high school, religious education was taught. So you have it as every day or every week sort of session. There you have to do devotions every day. It was mandatory. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is now, because I think you can opt out. But up to high school, you had to show up and you had to do devotions. So you know all the songs, you know all the stories, you know all the important scriptures that were highlighted to you. But did you actually delve down into the Bible? No. So I was doing I'm ticking the boxes. I'm doing the Christian thing. I've learned all the stories. I've learned the things. You watch all the movies. And that was all I did. So I didn't do anything extra with, the knowledge.
Yeah. So it's quite kind of learning the things about God and about Jesus, but maybe not having a deeper relationship with him.
And relationship, yeah.
So then fast forward a bit, you moved to the UK and then you moved to Jersey.
Yep.
And you were kind of still quite sporadic in going to church. You talked about the tick box.
Yeah. So
during that time.
So moved to Jersey. Decided within the first year of being here to attend church, and again I did the same. I showed up. I sat at the back, and then I said hello to everybody that was there, and then I left. And that was the engagement for the year. I didn't do anything extra because, again, I've gone to church. I've done my duty on a Sunday. That's it. I've ticked the box. I don't need to do anything else. Don't need to go any extra mile. And so that was fine for me. And then after a while, I wasn't connected. I wasn't engaged. So I stopped going.
And then about 2 years ago, excuse me, that's when we first met, and you described this kind of unexplained pull to go back to church again. And that's when we met you here at Jersey Baptist.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, as Emma just said, I just had something in I don't know what it was, but it just kept saying, you need to go to church. You need to go to church. You need to go to church. It was about August. And I was like, it's fine, I'll go one day. It's fine. But it wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. And so I had a friend that was, did go to church, and he told me about this church. So I attended, and I remember standing up to sing the hymn, and I started crying. And I don't know why I was crying. Couldn't tell you. And I went home and I rang my friend because she's really good Christian. And she's like, you need to find yourself a church. This is God saying to you, you need to sort yourself out. And she's like, I'm so glad this is happening to you because I prayed for you. I prayed for this. And I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks for that. So that's when I started my journey of looking for different churches on the island. And I just moved to up the road from here. And so I would walk by this church. And I think one Sunday I walked by and Ruth said, like, she waved to me. I was like, oh, well, that's nice. And so that's when I decided to come one of the Sundays as my journey around all the churches. And it stuck. Yeah. And here I am.
Here you are.
2 years later.
And you got stuck in straight away with a course that we run called Discovering God. Yeah. And then we were reading the Bible together one-to-one for a while after that. How have those things helped you in your faith, in your walk with the Lord?
So that really, discovering God for one, really gave me the push that I needed, because I could have easily fell back into the trap of, come in, sit at the back, and quickly just escape, as I've done in the past. But I decided to make an effort this time, and with discovering God, it really brought me back, because I hadn't been to church in about 3 or 4 years regularly. It really brought me back to, well, this is the relationship that you need to be building. This is what, walking with God looks like. And then when that was over, that's when I started doing one-to-one with you, and that gave me some accountability to say, well, I have to do this. There's somebody here helping me along the way, and it's not something that I have to do on my own. And then that led to the small group, which I actually do need to do that, because then you forget, and you can easily be like, oh, I'll just do it another time, or I'll do it another time. But when you actually are meeting with them, having that discussion, it helps. And so that was really good for me, and my experience and my journey.
Yeah, thank you. So that's the midweek small group Bible study that you're a part of, and there are several around the island, aren't there, and different evenings. So good thing to get stuck into. So looking back from the kind of rules, Bible story knowledge, and maybe the moral kind of knowledge you had of God, how do you say that your relationship with Jesus is now? How has that changed over the years?
So I think I have a better relationship. Well, I actually have a relationship compared to where I'm coming from, which is, I've been to church. It's fine. It's I'm not killing anyone, or I'm not stealing or doing any of that stuff. So I'm great. But now it's a case of making sure that I make time daily to do a bit of prayer, to spend some time with the Bible as well. So I've been doing the read the Bible in a year app to make sure that I get that in, and you have to make the time. Otherwise, what are you doing? And so my prayers are better, because, as I said, I used to do tip-up prayers as well. So, Our Father, said it in the morning or in the night. I'm done. Don't need to do anything else. And so now I'm having conversations with God, about thanking Him for certain things, or being here. That's a blessing. So it is much better now. Go through it. So yeah.
Thank you, Tomeca. It's not easy getting up here. I do appreciate it. I'm sure Tomeca will be happy to continue the conversation if you want to grab her at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.